We're back here once more with the Overwatch Open, heading into Game 2 of Ninjas in Pajamas versus WEUNITED. And Joshy, Ninjas in Pajamas came out really strong, and WEUNITED came out a little bit weak in the last game, and it's going to be up to WEUNITED to try and pick themselves up and have a better showing as we move on now to King's Row.
Yeah, the attacking round for WEUNITED, it looked all right. They obviously didn't finish the map, but I think obviously there were some weaknesses. You called out, it was Shadowburn, who really needed to step it up a bit more for his team.
It was not just Shadowburn, too. Too Easy also got stuck in places where he just shouldn't have been. It's just sort of, okay, what comes to mind is on offense where he was going for the flank, got caught out in the tavern. 4 people went in on him. Shadowburn tried to save him, and all it ended up was both of them ended up dying. It was not a great look for WEUNITED, and if Too Easy and Shadowburn cannot bring it back, it's going to be NIP taking it in, too.
Yeah, Ninjas in Pajamas, I just have, again, like, this is kind of mind-blowing stuff. I've never seen a team come out with no offense, let alone take the second checkpoint, take the third in such easy time.
Well, I know that teams have been experimenting more with triple support comps. It's not the first time it's come out in match play, and it has come out a lot more in scrim play, but clearly NIP, they were game planning it a little bit more, and it worked out for them, if nothing else. So NIP, it's a good showing. It's definitely making NIP fans everywhere who might be newly following this team going, oh, wow, I want to see NIP's following Overwatch. Well, they're giving you a good showing starting here today.
Yep, and King's Row is going to be our second map, so it's going to be another payload, similar to Hollywood, where you have to take that first point and then get the payload started. We saw a really good game earlier in the round of 16 between Pretz and OW Kings that had kind of a surprise finish, so hopefully we'll get something equally exciting this time around. But Ninjas in Pajamas just looks so dominant in that first one. It's really on WEUNITED now to try and make something happen here, or they face elimination.
Yeah, if I had any advice right now to give the WEUNITED is that I know that Too Easy and Shadowburn like playing fast and loose a little bit, but tone down the risk-taking a little bit, wait a little bit more, let your tanks do a little bit more work, because I think that's actually something to note here, too, is that when WEUNITED does stuff, a lot of it is Shadowburn and Too Easy. They try and be the ones out there, but you can let your tanks do a lot of the work, too. When you look at, say, how a team like C9 plays, where you get a little bit of distraction from Surefour, but you have Kai and Debit leading the way. Maybe a little bit more of that would help out WEUNITED.
All right, on defense, we can see the very standard composition, actually. The only thing different that I see at all is Too Easy on that third tank Roadhog rather than the McCree that you will sometimes see. And offensive Mei has been selected by Zappos. Of course, that could change, but we have seen that a couple times as well, and it is going to be turning into Anna there at the last second. They're going to 3 support, 3 tank again. Will WEUNITED be ready for it this time around? What can they even do to try and change it up?
Well, for them, I think they just need to make sure that they're DPS don't get picked early on. Shadowburn right now is on the flank. He's being a little bit less aggressive to start the side. We'll see if it works out. Mafu, though, able to take out Forsaken immediately. He overcharged there, did not have the support of his team. Now it's a 6v5 in favor of NIP, so this is already a terrible start for WEUNITED as NIP, they can just mosey onto the point right now. They get right on it. They're not really in any huge distress. Shadowburn does go down the fraggy, and even though they lose one, everything going in NIP's favor as Mafu picks up another kill, and this is just going to be a very slow but methodical take here by NIP, and they'll get on the first push.
Yeah, and once again, we're seeing basically no deaths on the side of the attacking team, everything working out again, so they're putting on a clinic right now. If you're interested in running this composition yourself, just keep note. And I have to say that when Anna was introduced to the game, there was a lot of speculation about Lucio, Zen, Anna, and Genji being kind of the super comp, because Genji benefits so much from the Harmony Orb and sleeping targets. Oh, we do have a DC, but I don't know what exactly our rule set is. Usually it's only within the first 10 seconds of the game we're able to reset back to the lobby. So definitely a bad thing for WEUNITED, but it looks like a Nevermind has come out, so hopefully Legit will be rejoining the team. Not actually at a bad time either, honestly.
Right, if you're going to DC, I mean, he might have been DC'd for much of that push. It's hard to tell. Oftentimes, Lucio's are hiding a bit anyways, because you looked at the end and it's like, hey, Lucio's just chilling out here. This looks weird.
At least he's healing around him while he's DC'd, right?
But here comes the offense on the way. NIP, no mercy. The nano boost and Sound Bear is up. Mafu with the first pickoff on the Forsaken. Shadowburn just stuck sleeping. A great sleep dart to take Shadowburn out of the fight. He goes to the fight late, ends up getting taken out by Anna. The Graviton Surge from the defense comes out, does take out Himsy, but it's a little bit too little too late there. NIP in a great position right now. A big charge towards the end to take out Slasher. And This
Man.
could not be going any better for NIP. They are setting a lightning fast time right now at WEUNITED's expense. And I got to tell you, Joshy, if they're able to cap this in the next minute, I think that's going to be it. WEUNITED will lose this too.
I feel so validated now saying early on that Zappis, like Ana, should be played like a McCree. You're essentially just in that front to middle line and always be shooting. You always have a target there when you're able to heal and damage. And Zappis is the McCree, normally for Ninjas in Pajamas, playing an excellent Ana right now. Sleep darts have been on point. We've seen it a number of times. Too easy on his butt right now, in fact. And the Ana ultimate charges in. The Earthshatter does slow that down. The Transcendence as well is going to slow them down a bit. Shadowburn only gets one for his Death Blossom. It is Zappis, who has been incredibly valuable to the offense, but in total, it looks like the payload will stall for the first time in 2 maps.
Well, the Graviton comes out, will get answered by the defensive sound barrier, but it's not going to be enough. 3 kills here from NIP off of that Graviton, moving it forward. That's a 5K for NIP, and the pain keeps continuing here for WEUNITED. And this is all sorts of rough. They're coming out the emergency bastion, and yes, that's a term, emergency bastion now, coming out for WEUNITED. Maybe they'll be able to get a kill or 2 here to stabilize, but this is going from bad to worse at the moment.
He actually hit a long-range sleep dart on Zarya there, all the way in the spawn. Of course, she did get woken up right after that, but too easy on the Bastion. I think Surefour is kind of the only other DPS main that I've seen pull out Bastion, and that was months ago. That was so long ago since I've seen an actual Bastion, but Himsy gets drilled down. When you have all these tanks and supports, this actually makes sense. They are very large targets here for the Bastion. It can be very difficult to get the range needed to take out a Bastion behind a Reinhardt shield.
The problem is that you look at the point, Mafu was able to clean up too. They don't really care about Too Easy in the corner. They almost have this cap. Too Easy's still sitting there. It doesn't matter. That is going to be a remarkably fast time coming out. That is sub 4 minutes, about a time of 3:35, give or take a few seconds, in favor of NIP. And this was nothing short of brutal, folks. When you lose Kings Row defense by this time, it is very rare to bring it back. I'm not fully counting out WEUNITED. Maybe they have the game of their lives right now. But if you are an NIP fan, of which we know there's many in chat, you have got to be loving this right now.
I'm loving this. They're making fans out of me, and I already liked the team. Like, this is, I hope they go even further. Obviously, we are in the round of 8 now. It is just a best-of-3 series. The losing team will be done for the week, and all they'll get for their effort is some points. But if Ninjas in Pajamas can keep on this tear, moving into the semifinals and finals tomorrow, perhaps, I would love to cast their games against any of the top teams right now. Reunited, Anox, all still out there. Creation could be a possible match for them in the semis, but time to beat is 3.5 minutes. That's crazy for Kings Row, especially with that composition.
All 3s up there for the time to beat. That is going to be horrifying for WEUNITED to try and bring this back. Of course, keys that will be Shadowburn potentially having a huge game. But I'm going to note here, we've been talking a lot about Shadowburn and Too Easy. Overall, I would actually blame a lot of that last game. Sure, the DC from Legit did not help. There's no doubt about that. That's terrible. But beyond that, they never really were able to reset in the way they needed to reset there, in the point where they go, okay, we lost first fight, let's go in, because they lost first, and then they were just getting toppled the rest of it. Deaths kept on chaining, and NIP was in the driver's seat the entire time. So for WEUNITED, keys to victory here. They need to get point A in the very first attack. They have maybe a 1 white buffer, if that. They must move quickly.
It's interesting to me. I mean, obviously the offense, it worked out for them, but they are falling back on defense now to their DPS mainstays. Zappis is going to be on the McCree, Himsy will be on the Reaper. These are both analogs for the characters they were playing, you know, Ana and Roadhog respectively, but Shadowburn is going to be leaping out of the top gate, trying to dash toward the point as quick as he can. Obviously, time is working against WEUNITED. They really have to take A as swiftly as possible. Too Easy already taking a chunk of damage there, legit speeding everyone onto the point. There's a roll, flash, and fan into Fraggy. That's a great pickup to start things off.
Yep, Too Easy starting out, and that's exactly what they need. Shadowburn piling on, takes out Zappis in the back. 3 quick kills coming out here from WEUNITED. Himsy trying to do the best to bring this back, but he is horribly outnumbered. Will get stunned, but it does take out Too Easy at the very end, trying to make the most of it. Unfortunately, even if they did bring it back there for a moment, WEUNITED would be respawning quicker. They would take this point. So for WEUNITED, with a little under 3 minutes remaining, they have taken the first step. The next step now is to carry this momentum through and not really get stopped in Streets phase, because, again, they just have to put pedal to the metal here. Every fight is important right now for WEUNITED.
That's right, and the ult advantage is in the favor of the attackers. Defense has quite a way before they have anything. Canel from the defensive side might have Transcendence available in the next engagement. It really depends how aggressive the offense wants to be. They probably should play pretty conservatively. As weird as that sounds for how much time is available, you definitely don't want to run out there and just run into a brick wall. So the entire team will be pushing along with the payload, death ball style. You get a couple of members on fire here for the attacking team, but no ults.
Well, Too Easy is continuing to pile on there. They might be, as far as the ults go, we'll see how the situation goes. If they do have to burn the defensive Transcendence early, Too Easy already has 2 picks to start this out. Here comes a Graviton coming out from the offense. Shadowbird piling on. It's a double kill. Has the fall through for Zombs. And this, again, is exactly what WEUNITED needs. They are keeping the energy and momentum going. And going to the next fight, they're going to have Sound Barrier. Seda will not. So WEUNITED, they might be pulling this back, and that would be huge.
The 3 push is real. They're still moving forward. There was really only 1 stop on the side of the defense last round, and that was after this final checkpoint had been hit. So as long as they can continue to roll, if they can just stop the defense completely, there's a Dragon Blade available for Genji. Zappos here moving forward onto the payload. Now we are into the engagement. Dragon Blade is out for Shadowburn, as well as that Sound Barrier keeping everyone in high health. There's a couple of kills very quickly, though. That's really bad for Ninjas in Pajamas as they start to fall like dominoes. Zappos is the only person finding kill there on Slasher while the rest of the defense falls.
Well, WEUNITED not going quietly into that night. Shadowburn with great 2 picks to set that up. Of course, it was aided by the Zarya shield as it went in. It was great coordination coming from WEUNITED. They are down to 65 seconds or so remaining, but they can do this. Now, for NIP, despite how bad this has been thus far, all they need is 1 team wipe to seal this. So you take a look at Seda. He does have Sound Barrier at the ready. Zappos opening up with the Deadeye. They're going to be aggressive going in here. You will see that Sound Barrier come up soon, but if the defense or if the attackers are able to weather the storm, it'll be fine, but it's not going to be fine. Zappos gets 2 kills to start this out. It is a 6v4 right now for NIP. They're pushing WEUNITED back, and WEUNITED, this might not be time they can spare with 38 seconds remaining. Even if they win the next fight, NIP still has stall options available now.
You guys saw how much time that bought them. Oh, the big Deadeye actually gets a double into a triple there for the rest of the team. Offense rolling through, but only 26 seconds. Emergency Bastion, where are you? I'm just kidding. The entire team gets wiped, but they're definitely going to respawn in time to be able to challenge again. So it is all on Ninjas in Pajamas right now to make 1 hold for 12 seconds. Can they do it?
Why are they saying GG? There's still time left on the clock. There's 10 seconds remaining. They would have to kill everyone here, which is super unlikely. And they're not going to do that. The Graviton does come out. They will be able to get the stall. They need 4 kills from NIP. The dream is dead at the very end, and that's where that 1 wipe, where Zappos got 2 kills towards the end. I mentioned it midway through. It bought them stall time, where at the very least, they didn't even need to win this last fight. They just need to stall it a little bit. They're able to do that. What a showing from WEUNITED at the very end. Unfortunately, they remembered how to play just a little bit too late. It was a great game from both Shadowburn and Too Easy. But again, where was this all throughout the rest of the series? It wasn't there, and unfortunately, the variability of WEUNITED biting them in the butt a little bit here in our round of 8.
That last hold was all about the Sound Barrier. That's why it's so crazy that they managed to set a time of 3 minutes and 33 seconds, because 1 Sound Barrier literally can just flip an entire fight. It's almost a gimme in many cases at these high levels, but again, just that 1 hold was enough for Ninjas in Pajamas, despite losing A incredibly quickly, losing B. You can see all these highlights throughout. And Zappos, of course, had a really great game just on offense and defense. Got to give him some props. But everything going firmly in the way of Ninjas Pajamas. That was a super fast 2-0 for a round of 8 match.
Yeah, it was absolutely fast. There's no doubt about it. And WEUNITED at the very end, they did show us glimpses of why they are, in fact, a pretty darn good team. It's just they didn't show it to us for most of the series, so that is why they are out. But speaking of what's out, let's talk about what's in. We have been joined once more by Alex Machine Richardson. What's up?
In, out, shaking all about. You do the Okie Kokie. Is that a song you guys sing?
Hokey Pokey?
Only in the shower.
We call it the Hokey Pokey.
Okay,
What
well,
did you say?
The Okie Kokie.
I don't know what that is.
Okie Pokey.
Hokey Pokey.
Oh my God, our cultures just are too different. I don't know how we're going to communicate. Guys, we've got a lot to talk about with this one. Admittedly, a fast 2-0, admittedly very close towards the end there. But first of all, Kings Row in general, a 3:33 time. Like, you don't see those every day. No. And second of all, doing it with a different composition. Like I believe my closing question last week was, you know, is there something to change? Are we going to see the meta shift? And it took 1 week. It took 1 week to see 3 healers, or excuse me, 3 supports, 3 tanks as a team of 6. Like, that's insane. Let me just recap what they were using. I have Zen, Lucio, Anna, all supports, following Zarya, Reinhardt, and Roadhog. And they stormed it, walked through Kings Row in 3 minutes. Like, why have we not seen this before, ZP?
Teams are slow to really adapt things in. We've always thought that Ana, she does have potential to be mixed in a little bit more, and teams are starting to apply lessons learned in scrims, going, okay, we want to do this every now and then. Now we're going to mix her in, and we're going to have good results, because it did work out. Her damage is much better than it used to be with that extra buff that came in. And players, again, they're just a little bit slow sometimes to mix things in, but for NIP, it really worked out for them. And excited to see if we see more of it here in the future. Just nice to see wrinkles in the meta, if nothing else.
Yeah, Josh, do you think we're going to be moving more towards this kind of tanky meta? I mean, it's an interesting discussion to have, right?
Well, it's interesting because WEUNITED had to try and figure it out on the fly.
Right.
I think they were obviously not ready for it there on Hollywood as they got blazed through, but on Kings Row, they knew, I mean, they saw it coming at least a little bit, and we saw the emergency bastion, as you put it, come out at the end, and that's actually not terrible, right? Because he can push out so much damage. Roadhog is not going to have time to gas up. He'll just be a sitting duck. Reinhardt's shield breaks very quickly. So I think had they perhaps changed it up maybe in the first Streets phase and pulled out that Bastion a little early, may have even benefit them. And I think just going back to why teams haven't switched so much is because McCree has just been so godlike in recent weeks that you don't want to remove the McCree for an Ana. That's the the damage output is so much lower. But the fact that Zappis just showed us exactly how to play, or just always be shooting, heal all the time, damage all the time. Zappis definitely has command of the character.
It was actually really funny. I was just talking to one of our observers, and I was just like, yo, why on earth is this working? And he was like, well, this Ana's doing a lot of damage. And then I was like, hang on a second, there's a McCree player playing Ana. No wonder he's doing a lot of damage. I mean, it's the same. It's hit scan, I mean, admittedly a little bit of a projectile, but it's really cool to see the newest hero added into the pool and is rocking it already. Like, that was awesome to see from Zappis. And another thing that's going to be awesome to see is the incredible play of the game from our second game of the day. This is brought to you by the Republic of Gamers. Let's bring it in, let's summon it and see what it was. I'm not actually sure what this could be. You guys got any assumptions here?
Ana is what I'm hoping for.
Ana, want to see some Ana plays?
It's not super flashy, but definitely very impactful.
Oh, we get some Shadowburn. The master of the Genji. And you can just see he was like dashing absolutely everywhere. Missing the melee, but cleaning up. And we did talk about Shadowburn's proficiency with Genji before, Josh. He was something I believe you outlined, saying that he's always quite an enjoyable player to watch. I think he's up there with some of the best Genjis in the world.
Totally, yeah. He's definitely making a case for himself with plays like that. The dash resets were on point, got the deflect onto the Death Blossom there at the end just to make sure he didn't go down as well. Everything very clean play from Shadowburn normally. ZP had some critiques for him on the Hollywood map, but I think he cleaned it up quite a lot on Kings Row, to be honest.
What were the critiques?
Well, the critiques were pretty simple, is that Shadowburn, especially on Hollywood, he was dying too early to actually do that work on Genji. He's a player that has very high highs and very low lows, and you saw some of the highs towards the very end there for WEUNITED as they desperately tried to bring it back, and nearly well succeeded. However, the problem with that is that he wasn't really able to do it earlier in the series, and it just didn't work out for Shadowburn. He needs to find a way to sort of rein it in a little bit, take a little bit less risks, but try and get the payoff that he did get towards the end of Kings Row a little bit more frequently.
Definitely an argument to be made for like risk reward. You do have to try and take these chances, and sometimes it's just not going to pay off. For now though, I think it's time we took a break, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. It was a quickie. It's weird to be already sending it to a break. A quick 2-0. We get to see the boys from Ninjas in Pajamas and perhaps coming in, perhaps not even as favorites, and thriving in a very quick 2-0. We take a break and we come back with another quarterfinal. Before we disappear though, what was your favorite play of the game? We've shown you ours. What was yours? Hit us up with the hashtag OWOpen. We absolutely love all your responses. If you can think of any more Overwatch jokes, I personally would like to see them, because at the moment I think the Zarya one is winning. That was a good one. Either way, do throw it out with the hashtag OWOpen, and all the information on this tournament and the ones, of course, the last 2 weeks is available on overwatchopen.com. We disappear now and come back with your second quarterfinal in about 10 minutes time. See you then.